Hey, I got a question.
Uh, what's the question?
I'm glad you asked. So, if you were given the choice, would you choose to save the world or your family?
That is what we're going to get into right now because we are talking about The Incredibles
One or two?
live action.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there. Okay, I see
Yeah,
what you did
yeah,
there. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So, anywho, in all seriousness, what we're talking about today is the Fantastic Four Stick First
Oh.
Steps.
Ah. Okay. Okay.
No, Fantastic Four First Steps, the first Fantastic Four movie in the MCU. Go.
All right. So you got Reed, you got Sue, you got Ben, you got Johnny. All right, we're good. All right, we can go. No, but yes. So this is the latest installment in the MCU. Uh, this is kind of in an alternate history. It's set in Earth 828, so a different timeline for our main from our main timeline.
In the 60s.
Yes, in the
In the
60s.
60s.
It's got this like retro futuristic look kind of um,
And they're the only superheroes in the world, so there's
that we know
no.
of.
Yeah, I think it's established that they're the only superheroes.
Oh, it is
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
So that's why they're like kind of celebrities and stuff like that.
yep.
So how are we going to do this? We're going to get into how are we going to do the spoiler? Is it
Well,
going to be spoiler talk or no spoilers?
we can spoil, but let's get maybe light on the spoilers. Like
Light on the spoilers. So
at
if you
least,
have not seen it yet, just careful. But we're going to get into more of the spoilers probably in the end, just real quick.
yeah,
We'll have to talk about some things.
yeah. But we can at least do some table setting to give them
Right,
overview of the plot.
right.
Assuming that y'all have seen the trailer, I
The
don't,
trailers, yeah, yeah,
so you know it at least
yeah.
the look and the vibe and just kind of the plot. We have, of course, the main. We got the family. We have
You just wanted to say that, didn't you?
no, I did. That actually that wasn't even a thing I
So
was
we got we
about to say.
got we got Mr. Fantastic as Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
We got Vanessa Kirby and Sue Storm as Sue
Yep.
Storm. You got Joseph Quinn as Human Torch.
Yep.
You got
Evan.
Ebon
Evan.
Moss-Bachrach as
Yep.
Ben Grimm. Look at this. Like you got the three. You got Vanessa Kirby on Google first. Pedro Pascal second. Joseph Quinn's third. And then all the way down here in the third row,
Yep.
it's Ben Grimm. So for some reason, I don't know why. That's a big segue, but yeah, I don't know why they did that. But anywho, but yeah, we got Julia Garner as Silver Surfer
Yes.
and Ralph Ineson as Galactus.
Okay.
So yeah, and they've done this story um, a while now.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
pretty common. Pretty common story.
and I think most of when people think, and you might disagree because we talked about this, but I think Rise of the Silver Surfer is not that bad of a movie. Just people didn't like how Galactus was portrayed. You know, I don't think it was that bad when you're thinking of the other ones. Fan Four Stick, and then we got the one before that one. That was kind of you know interesting as well. So yeah. Anywho, this is kind of different as you got a women's Silver Surfer. However you feel about that. Um,
It's a
um,
period drama. Well,
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
well, maybe not even drama, but I mean, it is dramatic in the sense, but um, definitely a different vibe and a look from most of what we've gotten so
Yeah,
far.
yeah. Which is good. It works for it. First off, Pedro Pascal. I think he did a good Mr. Fantastic. Because I know a lot of people are not liking Mr. Fantastic, but I think that's mostly just because he's been on everything. But I think he did. He was the right guy for the job. But I'm not gonna lie. I still wanted John Krasinski. You shouldn't have dangled that carrot in front of me, and then like take it like do what you did in
In
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
But because I really would liked John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as and see how they would have done that. So hopefully
Yeah.
the next we revisit that. But yeah, I think Pedro Pascal. Back to Pedro Pascal. I think he did good. Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. I think she did good.
Agreed.
She was kind of like the focal point. Like even though it's clear that Mr. Fantastic is the head and everything. Like everything mostly revolves around that. But Sue Storm was definitely like the focal point or the heart of it.
Yeah.
Like she's the thing that kind of
Holds everything.
holds
together.
everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did like their chemistry. I thought it was great, and everything, and I thought they did a great job. Um, Joseph Quinn, I feel like he does a good job, very well. I think he did. They kind of did something different to where he's kind of not to get into anything, but I like the way how they used him in this one. In this one, I think it was interesting. It was very different than how they used him in the previous ones.
Right. Yeah, I think before they kind of used him as like comic relief, either comic
he
relief.
still was comic relief.
Comic relief, and the ladies' man.
Yeah.
They use that in tandem oftentimes.
But I think this did it a little better, where it wasn't like forced.
Yeah.
It felt natural. And then you got Ebon Moss-Bachrach. If I said his name wrong, I'm so sorry. But I think he did great. His eyebrows still kind of bothered me a little bit, but all in all, I think the CGI looked great, and he looked great. So he did a great job. I had kind of my picks of who I thought should be the thing, but I think he did great.
Yeah.
And I think all their like chemistry, it kind of works. I think the problem with the older Fantastic Four is they kind of were like, it was like Thing and Johnny Storm were kind of like bickering, like they were kind of like, I don't know, it felt immature and annoying to me how they used them together, like, because he was always playing pranks and stuff. Even though I like how Chris Evans did it, but it was definitely his younger, So I think
they made him very childish.
Yeah, definitely. Gambino.
There you go.
Donald Glover. Anywho, but you wanted to talk about something.
I did. I did want to talk about the different, the family dynamics between the characters, because
He really wanted to say that word.
he's saying that he acts like I say this word all the time, but in all seriousness, just to piggyback off, I do agree that Pedro did really well. As Reed, it took me a minute to get into him as that character, but I think it's more so me just because, like you said, like we have seen him in so many different things. He's in so many different franchises.
It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Like, I think he just.
Yeah.
To me, it just felt natural.
Yeah, I think he felt natural. I just look at it from my vantage point of like, oh yeah, I just saw you in this thing, in this movie last month, and this thing the month prior, and then I know you're in like two other things or three other things this year. So it's like, but once I've settled into him, seeing him as that character, then it's like, oh yeah, that's Reed. So a testament to him. Definitely, I feel like he portrayed him really well, even though it was different from different versions of Reed that we've seen before. Yeah, Vanessa Kirby did a great job, did an awesome job, honestly. Yeah, uh, Joseph Quinn um, did great as well. I feel like even though Sue is kind of the center, I feel like he had his own like
Yeah,
emotional center
yeah,
and arc as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
even I mean, getting into I mean we haven't done there yet, but like even the way they used him along with the Silver Surfer, I thought that was an interesting choice. Um, and then of course Ebon Moss,
Yeah.
yeah, he I like how they used the thing, and then they gave him his own things his things to do as well in relation to the rest of the family, but also how he had his own life and things that he was doing, even though
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
yeah, even though it was like we care about his world and just other things that he's got going on. So
I think what you're trying to say is like because you were telling me this, but you weren't really quite saying it. But like Pedro Pascal and and Vanessa Kirby, they kind of played the mother father role,
yes,
even though that's just like Human Torch is his
is
sister,
is Sue's
sister,
sister, right?
and the thing is the best friend.
Is the best friend,
But they kind of work naturally in tangent to where they just had that. It was like I know certain things happen,
yeah,
but it's like because it right when you get into it, it's like it goes right into it, and it's like basically you find out, you know,
yeah. So yeah, again, like you were saying, they definitely have that parental role for the rest of the group, especially the way Johnny is with Reed. It's almost like a father son relationship, especially like he'll Johnny will go to Reed with certain ideas, and it's like, man, he just brushed this off, and then he goes back to him again, and then he feels like Reed isn't listening to him, and then even when later on when they get the suits, then it's like, oh, he was listening,
yeah,
and he felt that moment of affirmation, like, oh wow, like even though this is the smartest man in the world, he's still, he's considering my ideas. I felt like that was a really cool moment.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it was. I definitely like the different dynamics between everyone. Even like with the thing, he's kind of like the brother of him and Reed kind of have this brotherly relationship too.
yeah, because it's best friend.
Best friend,
So,
yeah.
So it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But they're not related.
But yeah. Um, do you want to talk about the?
So basically, when you get into this film, you find out, that Sue is pregnant, and they've been trying to have a baby for a couple of years.
Yes.
And you just like that's the first thing you figure out is she's pregnant. The thing figures it out. It's in the trailers, basically. And it's kind of one of the reasons why it's called The First Steps. Another reason was this is the first steps into the MCU.
For this next phase.
Yeah.
Because this is what, phase 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Fantastic Four leading into like being in the MCU. Now they're officially in the MCU, and there's a whole bunch of parallels you can get from First Steps.
Mm-hmm.
But basically they're like celebrities in there so, and there's like a cartoon basically.
Yeah.
It's just interesting how everything is kind of constructed. But this is not a breakdown. But yeah, so basically, you get to the point where they're kind of celebrating. They're kind of doing their own. You have a little montage of all their villains that
Yeah.
they just to kind of catch you up, and then bam, like Silver Surfer comes in, down, basically saying Galactus is coming. Um,
Hold your loved ones dear and all that.
yeah, and then you get to the point where it's kind of like Rise of the Silver Surfer, where remember in that movie, he takes away like Human Torch's powers,
Mm-hmm.
and then now it's like switch. Like there was a weird kind of thing going on with Johnny Storm in that movie with the Silver Surfer, but this is a little bit different because he's you know he's a ladies' man, so of course now you got him to where like he's kind of feeling a connection. But I think it's more than just, oh yeah, he's crushing on. Like the way they played it, it didn't seem like force. It didn't seem like no, he was like they used it interestingly. I don't know how to describe it,
Yeah.
um, but then they kind of go up and deal with Galactus, and Galactus is crazy. I'm glad
Yeah.
they kind of kept him out of the trailers, but when you see him, he's
Yeah. It was Galactus for real.
yeah,
I'm glad people. I'm glad they did actually have a real Galactus because I know that's a whole thing that people
whole thing, yeah.
been complaining about. Even
Well, basically, they didn't want to like the secret is like they didn't like during that time they weren't very ready to show the fantastical of the comic books and make everything comic book accurate.
Gotcha.
So you had Kevin Feige, who was lower tier, giving Hugh Jackman and all these other people like comic books behind everybody's back because they're not allowed to have comic books on the thing because they're so scared to be comic book accurate.
That's
they wanted everything so grounded.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So that is why, you got Kevin Feige now. Now you're able to do that, especially with the Eternals and you have Guardians of the Galaxy. Like they're not afraid of doing this kind of stuff no more. You got the fantastical in the DC universe as well.
Yeah.
They're starting to do more of that as well. So yeah, yeah. So
I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't know that.
so that's why he was kind of a cloud because they didn't know, and especially CGI as well. They didn't know how to. So they kind of just teased him a little bit.
Yeah. It's funny though because it made me think about the fact that we from all the trailers we really did not see much of the movie past like the first like 20-30 minutes. Like once it gets into like all the space stuff and going into like
I'm pretty sure it showed all like throughout, because you got the middle where they went into space, you got the beginning, and then you also got like
the stuff. So I'm saying, at least from what I remember, and maybe because they did have a lot of trailers, so maybe I'm just forgetting.
yeah.
But I feel like a lot of stuff that happened in the middle that wasn't really shown. Like
Yeah.
the stuff that wasn't on Earth, I feel like that wasn't really shown in the trailers. Like they showed the end when Galactus was like, stepping on the city and stuff, but
I feel like that was the core of the movie. Like that's the big twist because you realize why Galactus wants the Earth and kind of about Franklin and about like that's where the kind of spoiler was.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, let's get into it if you want to.
Yeah.
Careful spoilers if you have not
Yes.
seen Fantastic Four and you don't want to know what happened. Just skip off and come back.
Right.
But anywho, yeah, you realize that Franklin Richards has the power cosmic, which I'm pretty sure you don't know what that is, but that's basically the power of Galactus So not to get too technical, but to simplify it, it's basically like, so Galactus was in a whole nother before the Big Bang. The universe before the Big Bang. And he basically merged, he gave his life to save, because remember, the universe contracts and, expands. So another this is MCU, another universe is made. So basically, Galactus, who I forget what his real name was, but he basically sacrificed his life to basically fuse with the power cosmic and basically save themselves. So now they're in this one, and that's this universe, and that's why he's got a hunger. It's not just because he's hungry. Like, he basically not eats planets like we eat food, but basically he consumes the energy of a planet to basically survive. And also the Silver Surfer has that power as well. So you figure out that, she had a life as well. But yeah, that's basically why he was like, yes, I was like you, but now I am this, and I want Franklin Richards. He's basically hiding himself from you and his power, because remember, Mr. Fantastic didn't think he had powers.
Yeah, he didn't want that either.
So basically, he was suppressing his powers pretty much from them, and kind of like Grogu in The Mandalorian.
Good comparison.
But basically, Galactus wants him to be the new Galactus, pretty much, basically. So he was gonna merge with Franklin Richards to, they become one, pretty much. So yeah, that's basically why he wanted Franklin Richards. He induces the labor a little bit early while they're on the ship. When they figure it out, they're like, let's let this baby come down. And then that's where you get the coolest scene, in my opinion.
Yes, that chase scene.
That was fire.
Yeah, that was fire.
Yes. Oh my gosh, where Silver Surfer is trying to grab, she's trying to grab Franklin Richards, and they're just trying to shoot her down. Oh my gosh, that was that scene.
Because everybody was doing all the stuff, of course, Sue was doing her thing, trying to
have the baby.
Reed is kind of quarterbacking everything. Johnny's doing his thing.
Trying to shoot her.
Ben's doing his thing, driving the ship. So it's like everybody had their part to play. It was it was really cool, just going throughout space. And
so basically, they try to trap her in a black hole just to give them time to kind of get to Earth and try to figure stuff out. And then, of course, she has the baby. And stuff, and then they find out, of course, do we got to give up the baby? Are we going to give up the baby to save our Earth?
To save our Earth, yeah, because that's the deal, and that's the dilemma of the movie. Like, do you choose to save your child, save your family, or do you save the rest of the Earth? And that was basically the deal that was on the line. Of course, as a mother, Sue was like, no, of course not. And it's funny because even she knows, there's a scene where she knows what Reed is thinking even before he says.
Because you can see it in his face.
Yeah.
Ben Grimm talked about it because it was when in the very beginning when, of course, they were coming in, and he was like, Ben Grimm was like, "You're late, so you're pregnant." And then, yeah, and he was like, "How'd you know?" And it's like, it's all over Reed's face.
Yeah.
So,
that's the thing. He can't lie, and that even goes into something later on once they arrive back on Earth, and Reed just flat out tells everybody because the people, when they get back to Earth, they're thinking, "Oh yeah, they defeated Galactus," and he's like, "Nah, we got away, but we ain't defeat him." And they're like, "So what we gonna do?" He's like, "Cause they it's revealed that it's like, yeah, we gotta sacrifice the baby, or well, that's what Galactus wants. Galactus wants the baby."
And they were just so like, "Oh yeah, so you're gonna give him the baby? All right, cool."
It's like, cool. And then they're like,
nah.
And then they're like, "So what are we gonna do? What y'all gonna do?" And then Reed's just like,
I don't know.
"I don't know."
Yeah. And it's kind of like, I mean, put yourself in those shoes. I wouldn't ask my wife to do that or mother my children to do that.
Yeah.
Especially after you give labor and all that stuff.
Right.
So basically, he figures out a plan because he'd been trying to teleport this egg. So his plan was to put all these devices all across the Earth, and so he can teleport the Earth.
Exactly.
And I heard somebody was like, "Wouldn't that mess up, like, especially if you're bringing it to our solar system? That's gonna mess up the
gravity, and then also
it's gonna mess up all
the Earth in relation to the sun."
Yeah.
Like, you need the sun to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, that wouldn't work, but they kind of hand wave.
Yeah.
So Shalabal is like. So basically, I think we missed one thing. So Johnny we missed a lot. So I'm trying not to make this a long video, but
yeah,
Johnny had some recordings because she said something to him
in her language.
And then he decoded it and started gathering all sorts of other things from other places with that. So he was putting all these messages together. So basically, she was messing up, breaking all these devices to teleport to Earth, and then Johnny just zooms off and basically starts putting these recordings everywhere and says, kind of just gets her to just kind of stop doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of to try to. What you think? Like, how should I say it?
So, I don't know how to put my thoughts together exactly, but he does connect with her because it's like, oh yeah, she lost her. Well, she didn't lose her own planet.
No, she gave up her life
to save her planet.
Yeah,
she gave up her life to
and
save her planet.
And she has a daughter.
Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't make that connection, but it's kind of like he's trying to appeal to her empathy in the sense like, okay, you were willing to sacrifice yourself to
and Johnny wanted to sacrifice himself for, of course, Franklin.
Yeah.
And then she was like, yeah, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I forget why, but
because it's like, I think because like the power cosmic or whatever, you probably understand the lore better than I do, but Johnny wouldn't be able to basically fulfill that. It could only be Franklin. So I think that's my assumption why it could only be him.
Yeah, because he's Abba.
Yeah.
If you get the OP.
Oh, I got it.
But so yeah, basically Galactus comes, they have their full fight, and basically they figure out, okay, we can't so maybe we transport Galactus.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically lure him with an empty. Was it a real? No, it was an empty carriage.
Well, yeah, they have the original, and then they did the switcheroo
with the football. I think.
Was there a football?
I think it was football.
After they blinded him, they just switched it out. It was very like it felt very comic booky, like cartoonish, not in a bad way, but it was like it felt.
Yeah.
I remember someone saying it was like it felt like an old school comic book type of thing where they
Right.
blind him, Johnny shot the fire in his eyes,
Yeah.
and they did the switch, and I was like, I did like that. I did enjoy that.
So basically, he's trying to push through. They're using all their power to kind of just push him through. But when he comes back, then like Johnny is like, all right, it's just gonna be me. He's gonna sacrifice himself. And then I knew, I was like, nah. And then here comes.
I knew that exact moment.
Yeah.
I knew. I was like, she's gonna come out somewhere.
Yeah.
I was like, where? She ain't been here this whole third act.
She was gone for too long. She was MIA. So, but yeah, and then they go. So basically, they're still alive. They're just transported elsewhere.
Yes.
So, but he has a ship that he consumes all the energy. He's away from his ship, so he can't consume planets like.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he used the ship to.
The ship.
Yeah.
The ship consumes the planets, or he does.
Yeah. That's why when they were in the planet, it was devouring. It was in the middle of devouring the Earth.
So I guess my confusion is, if the ship is devouring the Earth and not him, then why is he required for it? Like that. Is the ship connected to him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically that's kind of the end. They kind of save everything. Everybody kind of theorized that the planet was doomed. So everybody was going into it like the planet wasn't gonna make it. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But yeah, they're still good. So the fact it remains is how they're gonna get to our universe because it's Thunderbolts message. So that is pretty much it. So with all that said, it's a long video.
Yeah.
What do you rate it?
8.5. Oh wait, we do a 4. We do a 8.
Oh,
we do a 4.
Out of 5. Out of 5.
5 points. I'm gonna give it a 4.3.
Thought that was perfect 5. Even though you wanted to do 4 just because Vanessa.
No, that's not true. I said 4. I give 4.5. Could give it a 4.5, but
anyways, post your comments down below. Let us know.
Yes, let us know what your takeaways are. Let us know if we missed anything, and let us know. Yeah, just let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, and what you thought about the movie. I rate this better. I thought this was better than Superman, but I think this wins. And the better Fantastic Four.
Good take. Yeah, definitely the best Fantastic Four we've had so far. I probably would rank it above Superman. I definitely want to see both again. But right now, I would put it above. But both were really good to me.
Yeah.
But I would, for right now, put it above.
So we'll see you in the next video.
All right,
see you, folks.
Peace.